Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Yoga with Anna here at Irie Bliss and People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers at the beautiful church here in Weymouth Landing. And I wanted to welcome everyone and our in-studio audience as well for being here and showing up for yourselves as we get into a little bit of a gentle practice. I think that every weekend I give some of that gentle practice with a little bit of challenge here and there too. This week I am transitioning from winter to spring and doing a cleanse, an Ayurvedic cleanse. So my energy is a little low right now and I'm working with that. But it's all about transitioning from one season to another and giving your digestive system a rest and resetting yourself. So literally, I'm resetting my physiology and adding the yoga practice to reset our week. So it really aligns. And what I wanted to also remind everyone is that this Friday we are having our recovery practices here on Friday at 7, and it is Art to Transcend. So bring your mat, bring clothes that you can get paint on, and Jessica is going to guide you into a wonderful meditation so that you can open up to expressing yourself, expressing your artistic talents on canvas or whatever she might have for you. She's always wonderful with having all these supplies and a beautiful connection that she brings about. So she really creates a wonderful environment. So come on down, 7 o'clock, 63 Washington Street at PCS&M here at the church. So I hope to be here as well. So I would like to talk a little bit about, so in these practices that I share with you, there isn't one that I haven't practiced. So just to express that whatever I share with you, I have definitely experienced, and that's why I share these particular practices with you. If I haven't done it, I won't share it. And and that's what yoga therapy has done for me. So I'm a 900-hour certified yoga therapist, and what we do in yoga therapy is work under the scope of yoga one-on-one and integrate these practices into whatever holistic care you might be receiving. So in these holistic practices, we identify your chakras, maybe any blockage that you might be experiencing, and there's a little bit of Reiki involved, and there's a cleansing and balancing of the body. So looking at the body as a whole, we do a tune-up all under the scope of yoga and create a protocol for you to feel better and balanced in your own body. So holler at me, and we can talk about what your needs and your goals are, and we can start working together to create a better balance for yourself and a better balance for your life. So I welcome you to reach out to me, contact us here so that we can get in touch and work together. And of course, I always practice heart-centered practices. For me, heart-centered practices really changed my life and changed the way that I feel things, the way that I see things. Beginning to really think about how your heart feels really begins to shift, because in our emotional body, even though the emotions stem from one place, the heart is really affected. So when we sense our emotions, a lot of it comes from the heart. So we have a tendency to be very negative beings just by nature. We attach ourselves to negative thoughts that come in, judgment and things like that, and that really lowers the frequency of our being. So we want to keep those frequencies up by thinking positive, and coming from a heart-centered place really guides you in that direction. So there are days where you won't feel it, you won't feel good, you'll shift into that place, because once you shift into that not so good place, it's kind of like a whirlwind. And sometimes these practices help you step out of that place. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, just briefly, is it comes from the yamas and the niyamas, and it's in the ethics of yoga. These are the ethics that we study to help us practice in a way that is healthy for us and for everyone around us. It helps us connect to ourselves and helps us to connect to the world and the environment around us. So ahimsa is the practice of love, of nonviolence. It is the practice and the foundation in Eastern philosophy. Non-reaction is part of that as well. So when you think of these things, when they come up, how an emotion might trigger you to react, the practice of ahimsa and the awareness that comes in with this practice is, okay, I'm being triggered, my body feels uncomfortable, but I'm going to take a moment here to take a breath before I react. So reactiveness in outside of ahimsa, we're used to reacting things right away. Someone cuts us off, we immediately say something, or someone does something and we're triggered, we immediately respond. So these practices help us bring an awareness of slowing us down a little bit, letting us step back a little bit to notice how our emotions are affecting our body. And I know, this isn't how we normally react to things, that's why I say it is a practice, and meditation also helps you bring these practices in. So when you think about how emotions affect you, the practice of stepping back, taking a deep breath, or not responding until you are ready to respond and you have taken that moment is really helpful in dealing with people and dealing with how you respond to things, or instead of responding from a reactive place where your emotions might speak out immediately, is stepping back and responding in a calmer, more heart-centered way. So these are practices that we do bring into yoga, and they're beautiful because they really guide you in a different way than what we're used to. So to begin our practice, we're going to begin with some heart circular breath, and we're going to sit up nice and tall, or if you're seated in a chair. Here at PCSNM, we always welcome any kind of support for you to support your practice, whether it's a chair or on a mat. This is where we meet ourselves. So I'm going to invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. Sitting in a comfortable position, sometimes lifting up the hips like I am here. I'm sitting on a block, helps to alleviate some of the strain on the hips if you sit for too long or the seat begins to feel uncomfortable. And raising your hips above your knees. And hands can come to the lap to rest. And notice how the warmth of your hands feel on your lap. Let's begin to shift into the natural rhythm of our breath in and out the nose. Take notice where your shoulders are, if they're in front of your hips or behind, and just bringing the shoulders to stack over the hips. As you begin to shift the breath, notice where the breath is in your body. Maybe it's in the chest area. Maybe you feel a little tightness. Just noticing how the breath feels, coming in through the nostrils, back of the throat, how it lifts the chest and expands your rib cage, how you feel as you exhale slowly, as your shoulders soften. And then bringing the awareness to the pelvic points and noticing how the pelvic points feel for you, grounding, and maybe doing a shift side to side to notice how those pelvic points feel in connection with the support underneath you. Doing a little quick scan of your body from your feet all the way, traveling all the way up the legs, noticing how your hips may feel, traveling up the body to the shoulders, back to your heart center, just noticing what might be coming up for you at this moment through your breath. Maybe you're feeling a little tension in the back of the shoulders, in between the shoulders, a little tension in the neck. So those are just awarenesses of what you might be feeling in your body at the moment. Bringing the breath back, focusing on your third eye or the point between the brows. And now that we're here, I'll invite you to set an intention for your practice. I'll bring my hands into Anjala Mudra at the heart center, which you are more than welcome to do, or you can leave your hands right where they are. Inviting intention to come in, and remembering that it is intention that drives our actions, and it is these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives. Join me in taking a deep breath in and a slow exhale out. Swallowing at the back of our throats and fluttering our eyes open. Wonderful. Namaste, everyone, and welcome. All right, so I'm going to remove the block. And let's bring our feet into a little butterfly position. So you can walk the heels towards you, or you can keep them extended, however it feels good to you. And just allow the knees to gently move up and down, loosening the hips because we were just seated for a little while. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Feel your hands touch your feet and just notice the connection with your hands and your feet and giving yourself a little bit of love. You're here for that self-care, a little squeeze on the top of the feet, squeeze in the fronts of the legs, the shins. Pressing on the outsides of the feet, maybe a pull on the toes. So when do we take time to do this? Rare. And if you do, that's wonderful. But it's also wonderful to take the time to make this connection with yourself, your sense of touch. So just going up and down the legs, taking a nice squeeze of the shins, maybe a circular feeling of your hands around your knees, and going the opposite direction, and then just gently sliding the hands down as you pull the hands away from the feet. All right. So let's get into a little tabletop here. Beginning to shift into a cat-cow. Just to loosen up the spine, and then we'll go back into a seated position. On the in-breath, we're going to drop the belly and take the gaze up towards the sky. And on the exhale, exhale, we're going to bring our chin to chest and round the spine. So before we get into the breath, I want us to move our body a little bit. Inhaling as we extend and tilt the tail. Exhaling as we bring the chin to chest, rounding the spine, tucking the tail. Inhaling, extending. Exhaling, moving inward, chin to chest. Breathing with the movement. And then let's come to center here, stacking those shoulders again, just noticing where the shoulders are above the wrists and the hips. And then let's shift the hips back towards the heels. And then we're going to shift forward. Not too far. We haven't taken the arms forward, the hands forward just yet. Shifting back and shifting forward a few times with your breath. Exhaling as you bring the hips back. Inhaling, keeping that rhythm as you extend forward gently, and then coming back. And then let's take our knees to the width of the mat, and then let your toes touch. Bring the hips down towards the heels as we extend our arms forward, gently lowering the head to bring the forehead onto the mat. So if you are in a chair, just gently rotating the joints, the ankle joints, your wrist joints, rolling the shoulders, just loosening your body, getting all of that tension out of your body. If you're on the mat, let your third eye come to the mat, or you can support your third eye with a block if there's any tension in the shoulders, and massaging back and forth. Because of my cleanse and what I'm removing from my diet, this feels really good because today my head doesn't feel so good. My body is just detoxing and letting things go, which is wonderful. That's the wonderful thing about the cleanse, is that it really makes you sensitive to how your body feels when you remove certain things from your diet. I think I've been off sugar for like 2 weeks now. And I'm noticing even caffeine. All right, so from here, let's walk our hands towards our knees and bring the knees closer together. And then we're going to gently come back to our seated position, any comfortable position. And then let's take a nice deep breath in, bringing the arms above the head, and then exhale, lower the arms down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, let the palms rise, and then exhale, lower down. And last one. Palms rise, exhale, lower down. Let's roll the shoulders. Hands can come to the lap. And then as we rotate the shoulders back, let's rotate them forward. And then let's take a nice deep breath and rotate the body. So on the inhale, we're going to lengthen and then begin to rotate the body around the hips. So this gentle movement will just prepare us for a little bit of stillness that we'll have in a moment. And then let's come to center, give a little length to the spine, and then opposite directions. Use your breath as you inhale and exhale, moving the body around. We'll do this just as we get to the 5th round, and then come back to center. Inviting you here to take your hands to the heart and noticing how your palms feel on your chest in your heart center. coming back to your breath. And notice how much more focused you are on your breath now. So we're going to move into the circular breath. As you take a nice deep breath in, allow the breath to travel behind the heart, down towards the base of the spine, and as you exhale, allow that breath to rise in front of the heart as it exits your body. Inhaling, bringing the breath in behind the heart, and then exhaling, letting that breath come to the front of the heart as it exits. Taking a few more of these breaths in a circular motion around the heart, surrounding the heart with your breath, with that energy that you are bringing in. And now with your hands at your heart, I'm going to invite you to remember a time that brought you immense joy, immense love, so much that your heart almost exploded, so happy, laughter. Bring that memory into play. Notice how it makes you feel, bringing back the joy. As you breathe in, bring that joy, that love into your heart. The smile of your favorite child or your children. The emotion that you feel when you take the scent of flowers, roses, freesias under your nose, and what that feels like. Notice how that joy might bring a smile to your face. And now that you have this memory, this connection to that joy and love right in your heart, come back to your breath and begin the circular breath. In the nose, in through the nose as it travels down behind the heart, down to the base of the spine. Exhaling as it travels up and in front of the heart. Inhaling, bringing that joy and love in. Exhaling, releasing any negativity or negative thoughts that no longer serve you. Remembering who you are as you breathe in the joy and love. As you exhale and let that breath travel in front of the heart, releasing what no longer serves. The practice of ahimsa lies right here in your heart. So let's take a moment here to come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Releasing the hands, maybe bringing them back to your lap. Notice how warm they feel. Inviting you to swallow at the back of your throat and flutter your eyes open. Beautiful. Let's extend the legs forward. Flex the feet. Take a nice deep breath in. Lift the arms up above the head and exhale, float the arms back down. Inhale, let the arms rise again. This time on the exhale, let's reach forward and take a bow. Just let your hands rest on your shins, and on the inhale, lengthen through the crown. Slide the hands up the legs, making that contact. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, let the arms move forward towards your legs, resting. Inhale, lengthen through the crown to lengthen the spine, and then let the hands travel up the legs. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, repeating as we come down towards our legs. Inhaling, lengthening through the crown. Exhaling as you travel those hands up the legs. Beautiful. Taking a Dandasana, hands, palms right beside you, palms flat. Press into the mat. Lengthen through the crown. So notice if you're bringing the shoulders up as you're pressing, gently lower the shoulders. Bring the scapulas to slide down the back. Press the heart forward. Beautiful. And then let's gently bend the knees. Bring them to one side as we roll over back into our tabletop. All right, so let's do some intuitive movement. So I always love inviting my students to get into their bodies with their breath by intuitively moving. And usually how I start that movement is by shifting the hips around. So moving the hips in a circular motion. And you're welcome to close your eyes and connect with your breath as you move. And they don't have to be big movements. They can be small and gentle, just a shift, maybe left and right. So we're practicing with compassion and love for ourselves. So anything that your body might want to move, any way your body might want to move right now. Now, if you're in that place where you want to shift the body some more, you can shift the arms, the hands forward and extend forward if that's a movement that you feel your body wants to do. And then extend back. Maybe shifting the hips back and forth, taking a peek back. Anything that your body wants to do. It's just you and your body. And if this doesn't feel good on the knees, you can definitely move, stand, shake your body out, anything that feels good. You can go into a down dog if that feels good, or go into a child's pose. You can stretch up and reach back if that feels good, and then you can take a bow if you want to bring that in. So just taking your time, bringing a little love, actually a lot of love into your body. You could even pat your feet. If you're in an up dog, just patting the tops of your feet. And you can even curl your toes under and notice what that feels like for you. And give a little stretch to the soles of your feet as you shift the body around. And then when you're ready in a moment, taking your time and coming back to your tabletop. All right, let's shift the hips back. And we're going to take a child's pose position. And I'm going to leave it up to you if you want to take the knees apart to create space for yourself, or take the knees, leaving the knees where they are, and stretching the arms forward and taking that bow. And then let's walk the hands over to the right. Let that left hand reach on top of the right hand. My headache already feels better. Hands come back to center. So we've just raised the vibration. Walking the hands to the left side. Let that right hand lie on the left. So when there is discomfort in the body, just as I came in with discomfort, it's good to take a gentle practice and move your body around. Give it the love, that it might need. And notice how that feels for you. Come back to center and let your arms stretch forward. Let's tent the fingers, reach the wrists forward, arms forward. And then shift the hips back towards the heels so you feel that stretch long from the base all the way through the cervical spine. And then let's plant the palms and walk those palms back towards us. And then come back to our tabletop to realign. Let's curl the toes under, lift our hips up, come into a down dog. So I have someone in studio here, so I'm just taking a peek. Beautiful, Jan. All right, in down dog, let's walk our dog. Lifting one heel after the other. And then let's gently walk our feet to meet our hands and come into a forward fold. Notice here if you're holding on to any tension in your neck or shoulders, allow your head to feel heavy. Maybe taking a bind elbow to elbow. Maybe taking a nod with the head or a shake of the head left and right. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Hands come to the shins, come to your half lift, and let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Let your palms touch and palms come to heart. Wow, that feels so good. Right? All right. Let's inhale, arms again. Arms come back up. Let your palms touch and palms come to heart. Inhale, palms together, up above the head, and let's reach back. On the exhale, let's flip the palms of swan dive down for our forward fold. An easy, slow movement. Well, not easy, but a slower movement. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to your half lift. And let's plant the palms. Take a step back with both feet and bring the knees down. So you're welcome to go into a plank, but I'm going to keep the knees down. So otherwise you'd be like this, or you can take them down like this. All right, so from here, feet are flat. Shift the hips back towards the heels. And then we're going to shift forward into an up dog. So this is where you can curl the toes under and lift the knees. Come back to a down dog. Nice deep breaths. Gaze between the ankles. Press the heart towards the thighs. Then we're going to bring the knees back down. Shift the hips back. Shift forward, up dog. Curl the toes under, press to your down dog. You can hide out on the exhale here.
Knees come down. Hips come back to the heels. Shift forward. Little up dog. Curl the toes under. Come to your down dog. Lift the heels up high. Bend the knees and bring the knees all the way down. Feet flat. Bring the hips back. Inhale, up dog. Shift forward and take the heart up. Come back to your down dog. We're going to do that one more time. Let's lift the heels, bend the knees, bring the knees down, shift the hips back. Inhale, shift forward. Curl the toes under, lift the knees, come back to your down dog. And then let's walk the hands to meet the feet. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift, and then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch and palms come to heart. All right, so we're going to do a little stepping, balancing from the back of our mats. We're going to take our hands to the heart center, and we're going to shift the weight to that left leg and gently lift that right leg up. So a little balancing and stepping forward. Shift the weight forward. Bring that left leg up and step forward. Last one on the right side. Right leg lifts and step forward. Now we're going to shift back. So we're going to shift the weight to that back leg. Lift the right leg. Step back with that right leg. And shift back. Lift that left leg. Bring it back. Step back. Right leg lifts. Step back. Oops, I came off my mat. And then we're back at the back of the mat, or the top of the mat. All right. So now we're going to step forward. So we're going to lift that right leg up as we shift the weight to that left leg. Strong standing leg, and we're going to step forward. Going into balancing stick pose. We're going to begin to hinge, breathing normally. Extend the arms out if that feels good to you. Or you can keep the hands at heart center, or you can take a superhero pose and bring the arms back. Now let's bring the hands back to heart, and then gently step back, and then shift that right leg to meet the left. Beautiful. Now we're going to do the opposite side. Left leg is going to take a step forward. We're going to shift the weight, hinge at the hips. Right leg's going to lift. Come down halfway, and when you're there, you can, if you're comfortable, to shift your arms forward. And then bring them back. And then take a step back. And then step back to the top of the mat. Hands at the heart center. All right, awesome. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, it's forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And then let's root to rise again. Come all the way back up. Full body stretch, 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 stretch back. Exhale, flip the palms forward, fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to a half lift. And then root to rise again. Coming all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. And then we're going to face the left side. And we're going to take a wide step. Yeah. All right. So Let's bring the heels in. We're going to come into a goddess squat. Chest is nice and lifted. And it's not about how low you go. It's just taking that nice little dip down. And then gently shift back and forth to feel the shift in the hips. We're going to release the hands down and inhale the arms up and extend the legs. Palms touch and palms come to heart, and we're going to dip down again. Inhale, arms are going to come around, palms are going to touch, legs are going to extend. Hands come back to heart as we dip down. Last one, inhale, arms are going to come up, palms are going to touch. Exhale, we come down. Beautiful. Take a shift back and forth. All right, from here, let's gently take a nice extension of our legs. Inhale the arms up. Extend the arms out. Lift the gaze up, reaching out, star pose. And then bring the hands together. Bring them down to the heart center. Pivot that right foot. And let's take a warrior pose. So that right knee is going to bend. Back foot is nice and parallel. And then let that heel align with the instep of the back foot. On the inhale, arms are going to rise. And then exhale, they're going to come shoulder height into your warrior pose. Gaze is at the right fingertips. Let's reverse the warrior. Flip that right palm, reach back. And let that left arm either hang on the leg or reach behind you. And then we're going to come back to warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Last one, flip that right palm, reach back for your reverse warrior. And exhale, warrior two. From here, we're going to come back up. Pivot that right foot. Pivot that left foot. And we're going to do the opposite side. Again, aligning. So that left foot, that left heel is aligning with the instep of that right foot. All right, from here, gaze at the left fingertips, shoulders away from the ears, slightly tucking the tail, pulling the navel in. Take a nice deep breath, flip that left palm, reach back, and then exhale, come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Exhale, come back to your warrior two. So that left knee is nice and bent. Knee is aligned with the ankle. Let's reach back once more. And then come back to your warrior two. Pivot that left foot forward. Hands are going to come behind to our lower back. We're going to gently take a nice deep breath in. As we do that, we're going to press the hips forward. Take the gaze up to the sky, and on the exhale, begin to hinge forward. Gazing at the horizon until it disappears, and release the hands beneath you. And from here, let's gently hang here for a wide-legged forward fold. Firm breath. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the right side. You can reach for the ankle or the shin. Tone the legs, activate the legs. And then walk the hands back to center. Walk them all the way over to the left. Maybe grabbing that ankle or shin. And then we're going to gently walk back to center. Let's reach for the outsides of our feet. Pivot the heels outward. Take a nice deep breath and lengthen through the crown. And on the exhale, we're going to bow down, bending the elbows, keeping the elbows closer to the shins. Breathing nice and deep, lowering the heart rate, nurturing our nervous system with this practice, and then release. Bring the hands in front of you, lift the chest, and then gently bring the hands to your lower back on the inhale. Come all the way back up. Gently press the hips forward, take the gaze up, and then we come back to center. Beautiful. Let's shift that right leg back, come back to your mat, come to the back of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, just floating the arms. 2 more. Reach up and back, and then exhale, float the arms down. Inhale, reach up again, and back. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. All right. From here, let's lower down. And let's gently bring the hips to the left side of our hips, and then we're going to swing the legs around. All right, so from here, let's do a little balancing pose. We're going to extend the arms forward, palms face each other, lean back. Gently feel where those pelvic points lie. So when you reach forward, you're on top of the pelvic points. When you lean back, you're right on the back of those pelvic points. So let's lean back. And if there's any doubt, that you don't want to lift your legs up, or there's balancing issues here, you can gently just tap the feet to work the core. Or you can lift the legs up parallel to the floor, feet lift. Or if it's in your practice, so stay nice and lifted in the heart, and you can extend the legs up. Bring them back down parallel. Bring them all the way down. Beautiful. All right, so from here, let's bring the hands behind us. Extend the legs back, a little hip work left and right to let the hips relax on the mat. And from here, let's gently come back to the arm extensions. And we're going to gently lower down. Head comes down last. Bring the knees into the chest. So we're going to do a supine twist, which just means we're going to do a twist on the floor. And before we do that, we're going to get into wind removing pose. So let's extend that left leg out, flex the foot, gently squeeze that right knee in, guide that knee to the right shoulder. Bring it back to center and release. Take a full body stretch here. Legs extend, arms extend over the head. And then reach for that left knee. Bring that knee to chest. Flex both feet. Guide that knee to the left shoulder. Bring it back to center, release, extend the arms over the head, full body stretch. And then allow both knees to come in, wrap your arms around the knees, tuck the chin, shoulders away from the ears, and breathe normally. Extend the legs, arms over the head, full body stretch. Take that right knee back in again to the chest. Flex both feet. And then gently extend that right arm out. With the left hand, guide that left leg across the body into our twist. Gaze goes to the right fingertips. So the gravity of that hand is just gently lying on the knee, assisting the twist with the weight of the hand. And then let's come back to center. Give that knee a nice squeeze again, and then release. Let's take that left knee into chest. Extend that left arm out, palm down, and guide that left knee across the body with that right hand, and gently take the gaze to the left side. Again, allowing the hand to be a gentle weight. So you really feel that stretch right in here with the arm extended.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Sure. We'll try that again. Hand lies on the knee as a nice gentle weight, and then come back to center. The things that we have to deal with these days: arms over the head, outstretched. Extend the legs, extend the arms. Beautiful. And then from here, let's do a little banana stretch. We're going to walk the feet to the right side and the arms to the right side. So nice, gentle arch with the body. Arms can relax, or sometimes I like to grab my fingers for a gentle pull. And then let's walk the feet to center, walk the feet over to the left side. Left arms to the left side. And then walk the feet back to center. Bring the knees back into the chest. And then let's circle the knees around gently. Hands on the knees for a little circular motion of the knees. Any direction. And then go the opposite direction. All right, getting into happy baby. We're going to reach for the outsides of our feet and gently take a little rock side to side. So you can piece finger your toes here, or you can reach for the outsides of the feet. I don't know how Siri got me. She's got a mind of her own. All right, so let's bring the legs back together. Bring the arms by your side. Keep the legs in the air. Soles of the feet reach towards the sky. And you can also take a block or gently lift the hips up to support the leg lift, or take it into a shoulder stand if that feels good. And if not, you can just keep the legs low. And then if you want to take it further, you can bring those legs over the head for a little plow. Gently guiding the legs back up and the hips back down to the floor, to the mat, and then gently lowering down. Take a squeeze of the knees, and then bend the knees. Give a little side to side to loosen up the hips once again. And then let's take a little bridge pose. All right, on the inhale, so palms are going to be by your side, palms flat. Let the fingertips graze the heels, so walking the heels towards the butt. Let the fingers graze. Tuck the chin on the inhale, lift the hips. Chest moves towards the chin. A nice deep breath. And then exhale, lower down. All right, we're going to do that again. Take a gentle left and right with the knees if that feels good. Inhale, lift the hips as you come back to center. Chest moves towards the chin. And then gently lower down. Lowering the hips. Bring the knees to the chest for a nice gentle squeeze. And then lower the legs all the way down. Take a nice full body stretch. And then bring the arms by your side, palms up to get comfortable for your final resting pose, your Shavasana. Allowing the body to fully come to relaxation, letting the toes fall open. Allowing the hips to feel heavy. And then notice what it feels like if you tuck the shoulders underneath the body. Notice how my arms move outward and my palms move outward. Chest opens up, collarbone expands. Allow your shoulders to relax and your jawline to become loose. Relaxing the tongue inside the mouth, maybe feeling the back of the tongue be heavy. Cheeks are nice and relaxed. Brows are relaxed. Allowing yourself to come into a very deep relaxation here. Letting the breath ebb and flow through the body. Letting the body access its relaxed state in order to tap into its innate wisdom of healing. As you continue to lie in Shavasana, I'm going to come out of Shavasana to guide you into a closure of our class. And I will cue you out of your Shavasana. Begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers, allowing subtle movement back into the body. Beginning to take the body to the side, so rolling over to any side you feel comfortable rolling over to. And gently coming back to seated position, closing your eyes, bringing your hands into Anjala Mudra at the heart center. Remembering that balance comes from listening to guidance and wisdom of your inner voice. When we are in balance, we automatically live in nonviolence, ahimsa. Join me in bringing your prayer hands up to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts. In front of our lips to speak kind words, and back down in front of our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, grace, and lots of inner strength. And remember that joy, remember that memory, bring it into your heart. Namaste.